Hi there, today for our starters we're going to just recap a bit of the area work that we've done recently. So if you know what you're doing, just pause the video and check back when we're done. Okay, so remember when we're finding the area of an L shape, we can either complete the rectangle and do the whole big rectangle, take away that bit, or we can just split it into two rectangles. So we're going to do that with this one, and I think I'm going to do the split there. Remember, we've got a choice. We could do it down there where I've just shown you, or we could have done it across there to make a rectangle there and one there. Okay, so I'm going to call that one rectangle 1 and that one 2. They're both rectangles, so we can write down our A equals L times B formula and then do it for 1. So length times breadth, so the length of this rectangle is 7. The breadth of that rectangle is 10. Remember, it doesn't matter which way around you get them, because when you're multiplying, it doesn't matter the order you do it in. Okay, so that's 70. Then looking at rectangle 2, right, we need to find that length, don't we? So remember that this length here and that one there make up the 12 centimetres altogether. We can see that. Okay, that bit's 7 that I've just moved. So 7 and 5 makes 12. So that must be 5 centimetres there. So the second one, the area is 5 by 5, which is 25. And then we can say total area and add those together to get 95 square centimetres. Okay, remember for area it's square units. And the next one is a C shape, and remember the way that we do these is we draw that across the top to make it two rectangles, a little one and a big one, and we do the big one take away the little one. Okay, so we're going to write down the formula for area of a rectangle again. Every time you're going to use a formula, you should write it down. And remember the way we've set this one out is we've written a big, so area of the big rectangle. So that's length times breadth, and that'll give us that area there. Okay, so that's going to be 16 times 10. So that's 160, isn't it? Then we need the area of the small one. So that's this one here. And we can see that is an 8 by 5 rectangle. So 8 times 5 is 40. And this time, the area of our shape, we're going to have to subtract them. So 160 take away 40 is 120. And again, square centimetres. Okay, so we're moving on to today's work now, which is travel instructions using a grid. So basically we're going to be looking at describing journeys using a grid and the compass points that we looked at yesterday. So here we have a grid with different coloured blobs on it, and we're going to look at how you describe getting from one blob to another. Okay, so first of all, for example, if you were going from pink to red, how would you do that if you're going from there to there? So we need to talk about the direction that you're going in and how many squares to go. Okay, so let's just have a think about that then. So if we're starting at the pink one and we're going to the red, we're going south. So we can say go south, we'll just use S for south, go south 2 squares. Okay, and that's it, isn't it? If you start off with a pink one and you're heading south, you go 1 square, 2 squares. So that gets us there. Okay, so how would you get from yellow to pink? So remember our compass points, never eat shredded wheat. So if we're going yellow to pink, we're going that direction. So that's west, isn't it? So go west, and we'll count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, what if we were going from pink to green? What direction's that? Well, remember, we need our 8-point compass for that, which puts in these extra points, doesn't it? So remember, this one's northeast, this one's southeast, southwest, and northwest. So if we're going that direction, that's going to be southeast, isn't it? So what we need to do here is say go southeast, and let's see how many squares we need to go through for that. So we'd go 1, 2, 3. So go southeast 3 squares. Okay. If we're going in one of these 4 directions here, the northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, then we would need to be going through the corners of the squares. So for example, if we were going from pink to orange, that's not southeast, is it? Okay, that's southeast. Okay, right, next one then. We're going to go from, let's say, blue to red. So I've got a couple of different ways of doing this. We could go this way, or we could go that way. Or if we felt like it, we could go that way. So it doesn't really matter which way we go as long as we get there. So we're going to, I think we'll go the second way that I said, where we're going that way. Okay, so what we need to do is go north. So that's 2 spaces, 2 squares. Then you need to go to the left, so that's west, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right, so now let me just lose those blue lines. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you where to start and describe a journey. You see where you end up. Okay, so I want you to start at purple. Okay, and then I want you to go north 4 squares. Then southeast 3 squares. What colour do you end up at? So start at purple, go north 4 squares, and southeast 3 squares. Did you say blue? Let's check. So north 4 squares, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then southeast is that direction. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so if you said blue, you were right. Okay. And just one more like this. So I'm going to get you to this time start at red. Okay. And I would like you to go east 4 squares. And then south 3 squares. Then northwest 3 squares. Then west 1 square. So did you follow all that? So start at red, go east 4 squares, south 3 squares, northwest 3 squares, and then west 1 square. Where are you? Back where you started. Let's just check. So east 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4. South 3 squares, 1, 2, 3. Northwest 3 squares. Remember northwest's that way. So 1, 2, 3. And then west 1 square. So back to red. Okay. Right. So next bit now. Last bit for today. Okay. So here we've got a factory. We've got a pond. We've got a mosque. We've got a house. And we've got a church. Okay. So what direction is everything in from the mosque? Let's look at that first. Let's see if we can do this without writing out the directions. What is northwest from the mosque? So if you look at the mosque, what's northwest? Remember, northwest is that way, so it's the factory. Okay. What direction is the church from the mosque? Well, that's that way. That's southeast. What direction is the house from the mosque? So that's going there. So that would be southwest. And then what direction is the pond from the mosque? It's northeast. Okay, so just a couple of questions. What do you find northwest of the church? Okay, northwest of the church, that's that direction. So you find the mosque. What do you find southwest of the pond? So if you go from the pond in southwest, that's that direction. So the first thing you come to is the mosque, but the house is also southwest of the pond. Okay. And also when we just said about what is northwest of the house, we've got the mosque, but also the factory is northwest of the church. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today. And if you have a go at the practice questions, they're using that kind of a grid. Okay, and we'll catch up again tomorrow to do some more directions using a map. See you later.